Are you looking for a way to earn passive income, or do you need cash but don't want to cash out your cryptocurrency? Well, I have two words for you: crypto lending. With crypto lending becoming more and more mainstream, there are an ever-increasing number of platforms out there to choose from. So it's becoming more difficult to sort the wheat from the chaff. But don't you worry, I have you covered. My name is Guy, and in this video I'll explain what crypto lending platforms are, I'll reveal my top 5 platforms in crypto and compare them side by side. All that is to help you find the right crypto lending platform for you. Before I get cracking, there are a few quick things I need to say. Sadly, I am not a financial advisor. Sorry, folks. So that means that this video is for educational purposes only. Be sure to consult your financial advisor before making any hasty moves. Also, if you've come across my channel for the first time, then welcome to the Bureau. I regularly create crypto content and cover almost everything you need to know about this new emerging asset class. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and flick on those notifications. Do that and you'll be the first to know whenever I release another video. All set? Let's get into this. To kick things off, I am just going to give you a bit of an overview on what exactly a crypto lending platform is. So if you know all about that and want to skip ahead to my picks, then feel free to use the timestamps I have provided below. With crypto lending platforms, you should know that there are usually 2 key services provided. These are supplying crypto to earn interest and depositing crypto to get instant loans. So, how do these crypto loans differ to the kind of loans you might get at a traditional bank? Well, most bank loans simply bring your future cash flows forward to today. That's a snazzy way of just saying that you're borrowing against your future income. However, crypto loans work more like the type of loan you would get from a pawnbroker. No, not that type of pawnbroker. Get your head out of the gutter. Yes, this type of pawnbroker. In case you don't know how that works, customers bring in items like jewelry, gold, cars, antiques, or pretty much anything of value, and you receive a loan based on the value of the item. So you might bring in a gold necklace that's valued at $10,000, and the pawnbroker could decide to lend you $5,000 against it. Yes, interest is of course charged, and if you miss your repayments, then the pawnbroker has the right to sell your item to recoup the value of the loan. So that necklace simply acts as collateral to secure the loan against. That's why pawnbrokers will always lend you a fraction of the amount that the collateral is worth. They wouldn't be in business very long if they didn't. This type of loan is what is known as an over-collateralized loan. Loans on crypto lending platforms work in a similar way. You put up your crypto as collateral, and in return you get a percentage of the collateral's value in fiat or stablecoins. Now, you're probably wondering why you only get a percentage of your collateral's value and not its full value. Well, put very simply, crypto can be very volatile. I think most of us know that by now. Basically, the loan is good for as long as the loan is over-collateralized. However, if the value of your collateral goes down too much, then it will be sold to cover the outstanding value of the loan. Very much like what a pawnbroker does. So why are people using this type of loan? Well, there are no credit checks at all, and they are usually instantly approved. Now that's great news if you don't like filling out those endless forms that your bank tends to insist on. Another key reason people go for this type of lending is that they want cash to spend in the real world today, whilst retaining ownership of their crypto, as they think the price will go up. Crypto loans enable you to do just that by borrowing against the value of your crypto. These platforms are also used by some to defer taxes or avoid crystallizing gains in order to optimize their taxes. When it comes to supplying crypto to earn interest, you could take the view that they're holding crypto in a wallet anyways and it's not really working for them. Why not lend out those coins you have in storage and earn passive income on them? So now that you know the ins and outs of crypto lending platforms, I want to get into my top 5 crypto lending platform picks. At number 5, I have Blockfi. So who on earth are these chaps? Well, this privately held New York-based lending platform was founded in 2017. The venture has also recently raised $18.3 million in financing during its Series A funding round, and that attracted a bunch of notable names. This includes the likes of Velar Ventures, which is backed by billionaire investor Peter Thiel, Mike Novogratz's Galaxy Digital Venture, Winklevoss Capital, Consensus Ventures, and Acuna Capital. Indeed, that's pretty much a who's who of some of crypto's most prominent billionaires. So if you trust that these guys have done their due diligence before ponying up their money, then it's safe to say that Blockfi are a lending platform to sit up and take notice of. That brings me on to the interest rates available on the platform. Honestly folks, if you want to supply crypto to earn interest, then the rates on offer here are pretty darn competitive. Supply less than 5 Bitcoin and you'll get an annual percentage yield of 6%. Any amount of Bitcoin above that threshold will earn users 3.2%. With Ethereum, you can get 4.5% and an annual return of 3.8% is yours if you supply Litecoin. Stablecoins like USDC, GUSD and PAX attract interest rates of 8.6%. Not too shabby to say the least. When it comes to supported cryptocurrencies, Blockfi certainly doesn't have the best range out there. The platform only currently supports Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and 3 stablecoins. So if you're looking to earn interest on some mid-cap altcoins, then you'll have to look at some other options. I now want to move on to talk about security. Before using any crypto platform, this really should be one of the first things you think about. When it comes to Blockfi, the good news is that it's about as safe as Gemini. That's the US-based exchange run by the billionaire Winklevoss twins. That's because Blockfi uses Gemini as its primary custodian. Oh yes, and if you're into regulatory compliance, who isn't, you need not worry here. Those Winklevoss blokes kind of take that super seriously, and Gemini is a fully licensed custodian regulated by the NYDFS. However, I do need to let you know that there was a recent security breach over there at Blockfi. Basically, a hacker managed to SIM swap an employee phone and gain access to some confidential user data. That included information like names, dates of birth, addresses, and Blockfi account activity. Other sensitive data like identification documents and bank details were apparently not affected in this data breach. It should also be noted that no funds were lost during this security lapse. However, I am going to level with you. If my details were leaked to a hacker, I would not be a happy bunny. The main reason is that it's a bit of a security risk. I don't want some malicious actor knowing I am in crypto, how much I have with Blockfi, and where I live. Here's the thing, folks. If you use any centralized crypto lending platform, you need to be aware that these types of data breaches are a very real risk. Ultimately, you are trusting your personal information with a company, and despite best practices, these kind of things do happen. Now, if that's a major concern for you, then you might want to consider a decentralized lending platform instead. I'll reveal my top pick for that later on. When it comes to getting a crypto loan at Blockfi, you can supply either Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin as collateral. The standard loan-to-value ratio is 50%. However, alternative LTV rates are available if you contact Blockfi support. There is a degree of flexibility over loan duration. However, if you get a loan amount for $10,000, then you can expect to pay an APR of about 6.5%. This compares quite favorably to other lending platforms. Oh yes, the minimum loan amount is $5,000. That means that Blockfi is not the place to go if you want to just try out crypto loans or want a loan for a few hundred or a few $1,000s. The good news is that Blockfi is a lot more flexible when it comes to supplying crypto to earn interest. You can supply any amount of any supported cryptocurrency and start earning passive income. When it comes to wire transfers, the minimum deposit is $10. However, just be aware that your bank may charge up to $50 for this deposit method. Which brings me on to the big question. Which countries are welcome at Blockfi? In short, Blockfi is available worldwide. However, if you're based in a sanctioned or watchlist country like North Korea, I'm afraid it's going to be a no-go for you. When it comes to US coverage, people living in all the states right here are accepted at Blockfi. So, who is Blockfi for? Well, honestly folks, I find the minimum loan amount of $5,000 just a little off-putting, and I don't really like the idea of going back and forth with support to negotiate a different loan-to-value ratio. That being said, despite Blockfi's data breach, if you're looking for a lending platform to earn passive income that's backed by some of the smartest minds in crypto, then you might want to consider this option. At number 4, I have Nexo. Now, Nexo is actually a subsidiary of a company called Credissimo, and they have been in business since 2007. That means that Nexo is backed and operated by a company that's been battle-tested in the lending space for over 10 years, which is more than can be said for most businesses in crypto. Nexo itself was launched in 2018, and since then they have processed more than $1.5 billion for over 550,000 users. So yeah, this lending platform is pretty damn popular. So how do the interest rates on offer stack up here? Well, base rates are as high as 8% for assets like Tether, USDC, Paxos, TrueUSD, DAI, Euros, and GBP. What's important to note is that you have at least 10% of the holdings in your savings wallet in Nexo tokens. Then you'll get that interest rate bumped up to a whopping 10%. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, EOS, Stellar, and Chainlink are also supported, and you can earn a base interest rate of 4%. This is topped up to 5% if you get that Nexo token bump. So yeah, the interest rates available here can be better than Blockfi. Oh yes, BNB and Pax Gold are also set to be supported soon. So that brings me onto the all-important question: how does Nexo's security stack up? The good news is that there's been no known security breaches since Nexo opened up shop or any significant loan defaults. Also, users' assets on Nexo are insured for up to $100 million by their audited custodian, BitGo. However, I do need to say that seeing as Nexo is a centralized lending platform, it is open to the same risks as Blockfi when it comes to potential data breaches. So bear that in mind. With respect to flexibility, honestly, Nexo is top-notch when it comes to supplying funds to earn interest. There are no minimum lock-up periods at all. If you're looking to get a crypto loan, the good news is that Nexo supports a pretty extensive range of assets that you can use as collateral. Even better, you can use a blend of different cryptos as collateral, so top marks for that nifty feature. In terms of loan amount, you can get a loan for as little as $500 all the way up to an incredible $2 million. Loan-to-value ratios range from 20% to 50% of the assets deposited, and the interest you'll pay is typically around 5.9% APR. That's a little lower than Blockfi's standard APR. However, the rate you'll pay will vary according to the loan deal you want. When it comes to supported countries, Nexo accepts customers based in most countries. However, if you're living in any of the countries here, then I'm afraid you'll have to look at other platforms to earn that interest or get that crypto loan. So, who can benefit from Nexo? Well, honestly folks, if you're interested in getting a solid rate of interest while being able to withdraw your funds at any time, then Nexo is a lending platform that should be on your radar. On the loan side of things, Nexo certainly offers a greater level of flexibility than Blockfi. So if that's of interest to you, then you should certainly look to see what rate you're quoted here. At number 3, I have Crypto.com. Now, I don't want to dwell too much on this, as I have already covered Crypto.com pretty extensively in several videos already. However, if you want access to literally the highest interest rate going, then you want to supply CRO on the Crypto Earn platform for 3 months. Do that while staking 500 MCO tokens and you'll get 18% interest per annum. So if you're interested in the ins and outs of that, then you can check that out right here. On to my second pick, and it has to be Celsius. The company was established in 2017 and co-funded by Alex Murzinski. Here's a fun fact about that chap. He was the bloke that brought free Wi-Fi to the New York subway and enabled Wi-Fi on US flights. Celsius boasts over 133,000 users with over $850 million in assets. The platform has also facilitated over $8 billion in loan originations and paid out 8 figures in interest payments. So, what rates of interest are available here? Well, you can check those out right here. Essentially, you can earn interest as high as 8.69%, and that is bumped up to 11.90% if you opt to earn that interest in Celsius's CEL token. So if you're okay with that, then you can earn a slightly better interest rate than what's available at Nexo. Now, I've already flashed up the list of supported cryptocurrency, and I'm sure many of you have realized that it's a longer list than Nexo's too. Another cool thing is that you can lend out true GBP, AUD, HKD, and CAD. That's pretty ideal if you're based in the UK, Canada, or Australia and want to earn interest in your native currency. Alrighty, so Celsius probably sounds like a dream, but how secure is it? Here's the deal. Celsius is a centralized platform, like all the other picks on this list so far. That means you do not hold the private keys to your coins and you run the risk of Celsius data breaches. With all that being said, there have been no security breaches that I've heard of. Also, user funds in cold storage are insured for up to $100 million via BitGo once again. In the event that the platform gets hacked, Celsius has committed to using its own balance sheet to recover customer losses. However, that doesn't guarantee that users will recover the full value of their assets, so just be aware of that. Now that brings me on to platform flexibility. The first thing to know is that if you want to get into the crypto interest game, then there are no barriers to entry with Celsius. There are simply no minimum deposit amounts. Even cooler, there are no deposit, withdrawal, transaction, early termination, or origination fees. You also have the option of being paid interest in either the crypto you deposited, or you can receive a slightly higher interest rate and get paid in CEL tokens. A pretty neat option to have. Ah yes, if you supply crypto, you can withdraw it at any time too. If you're looking to get your hands on a crypto loan, then Celsius is definitely a platform you want to look at. You can use any of the cryptocurrencies here as collateral. The minimum loan is a pretty reasonable $1,000, and you can choose a loan-to-value ratio of 25%, 33%, or 50%. With an LTV of 25%, you can get an APR as low as 1% if you pay the interest with fiat, and an incredible 0.7% if you pay in CEL tokens. And one more thing. You have the option to pay that loan back over 6 months, a year, 2 years, or even a 3-year term. In terms of supported countries, Celsius takes customers from pretty much anywhere in the world, unless you're living in any of the countries here. So who is Celsius for? Anyone looking for top-notch rates of interest or reasonably priced crypto loans should certainly have this platform on their shortlist. Now that brings me on to my final pick. It's Aave. So who the heck are these guys? Well, unlike every other pick on this list, Aave is a decentralized crypto lending platform. It was actually the first DeFi lending protocol when its mainnet was launched as ETHLend way back in 2017. Yep, that was before DeFi was even a thing. When it comes to interest rates for passive income hunters, I'm going to be straight up with you. Aave doesn't offer the highest rates out there. However, you can get a pretty punchy 10% interest on true USD right now. It's also important to note that although Aave does list over 17 different assets, it's a crypto-only platform. You can't use it to get a fiat loan, although you can loan stablecoins and convert to fiat on an exchange. Now you're probably wondering if I've lost my marbles and why the heck I have Aave at the #1 spot. Here's the deal. It's completely trustless and censorship resistant. Aave allows users to lend and borrow crypto in a completely decentralized and trustless way. There's no middleman that can be hacked, no KYC, and no AML documentation required to use the platform. That all means that your personal data cannot be stolen. To me, that is a massive benefit over centralized solutions. Oh yes, another perk is that you can retain control over your private keys. So you're not crossing your fingers and hoping some company plays nicely. So I guess you're going to have to ask yourself how much these extra assurances mean to you. When it comes to flexibility, Aave honestly offers you way more options than any other platform mentioned so far. If you're wanting a crypto loan, you can borrow anywhere between 50% and 75% of the value of your collateral. Passive income hunters can basically choose between 2 rates of interest. The first is a variable rate which is determined algorithmically by demand. Or you could opt for a stable rate. Another neat feature is that you can switch between the stable and variable rates whenever you want. Another thing offered on Aave that isn't available on any of the other platforms mentioned is something called flash loans. These basically allow people to borrow huge amounts of crypto with no collateral. Aave charges a 0.3% fee for each flash loan and spawned a whole bunch of crazy things like yield farming. If you want to learn more about that and how you can profit, then you're going to want to watch the video right here. When it comes to supported countries, well, the benefit of being decentralized is that literally anyone can use Aave. So, who is Aave for? Honestly, I would recommend that anyone who has a basic understanding of crypto check out Aave. Maybe it's a weakness of mine wanting to support decentralized solutions wherever possible. However, I do have to say that the true USD interest rates on offer over here don't look too shabby to me at all. That being said, if you want a fiat equivalent loan, then you'll have to use stablecoins on Aave and convert those to fiat using another platform. If you cannot be bothered with that and want to get fiat directly from a lending platform, then I would recommend checking out Celsius. Alrighty folks, that is my roundup of the best crypto lending platforms out there right now. If you're interested in trying out any of them, be sure to check out the links in the description below. Now, I do feel compelled to say that earning interest on crypto lending platforms is far from risk-free. Truthfully, nothing in this world is. Centralized platforms may get hacked, funds might be stolen, or even your personal details. Yes, decentralized options like Aave don't have data breach risks. However, there are smart contract risks. It's entirely possible that there are bugs in the code that have gone unnoticed. Hackers have also been able to exploit the smart contracts of other protocols. The point is that yes, you can get way better interest rates on crypto lending platforms than you can get at your bank. However, that's to compensate you for the risk you're taking. Please remember that if you choose to dabble in these waters. Never forget the golden rule. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and for the love of God, don't bet the house on it. Now, I know there was a lot to take in there, so kudos for hanging on in there. I do want to hear your thoughts though. Do you have any questions for me? Have I missed out any that should be included on that list? Finally, thank you for watching. Please do drop me a like if you like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Oh, you thought that was all of it? Sadly not. You see, these videos are only just scratching the surface when it comes to all the info I have to share. 20 minutes just ain't enough time to fully elucidate my thoughts. That is the prime reason that I started my weekly newsletter. It's basically my take on the latest trends and topics. I also share some secret tips that you don't want to miss. Want to join? Well, don't delay. Head on over to the description. There is a link to my sign-up form. All you need to do is submit your email and hit submit. Click the verification link sent to you and hey presto, you are a Coin Bureau insider. Oh, and I hate spam more than anyone, so you won't be getting any from me. I'll see you all next time.